Rise and shine, everyone. It is Friday, April the 26th, and we are so happy to have you joining us. On Fridays, we get to have Alabama Care Friday. So we have our guest in from Alabama Cares, of course, Miss Ellen Hurst, and she has brought with her a special friend, and we are going to talk all about caregivers. So Sandy Gifford is with us, and she is a caregiver. And so if you have anyone in your family or in your life that you are giving care to, make sure to tune into this episode, because there's going to be some really great helpful hints and advice and just some things that you might be doing great, and you might be able to add some things. Or also, we'd love to hear from you. So if you are a caregiver or have been or about to be, please reach out to us. Questions, we would love to answer your questions. So reach out to us on Facebook. Make sure you share this if you know somebody who is going through the process of being a caregiver to an elderly family member or friend, or just someone that they are going to be responsible for caregiving. Share this with them. So welcome, ladies. How are you today?
Good.
How are you? Friday. I am good. You know, Fridays are always great, and anytime I get to visit with Ellen is also a wonderful day. So I love my Fridays, getting to know her better and getting to experience all these really cool things and resources that she's able to offer to the community. And so I'm guessing that's how you two connected, Miss Sandy. Is this how you connected? Were you a caregiver and met Ellen
Not
through that?
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
We knew each other through a work experience, first of all. And then I became a caregiver.
Okay.
So it was kind of not exactly the normal communication.
You were actually a caregiver, and then she spoke to me and said, you know, I take care of my son, and I went, you know, we have a program for that. We could help you. She's like, really?
And that's
Right
always
place,
nice.
right time.
Yes, having those resources. So, share a little bit about your experience, if you will, as a caregiver.
I became a caregiver. Most people think of caregiving as taking care of your elderly parents, or at least that's what I always thought. Well, my son was in a car accident in 2020. He's now paralyzed because of the car accident. So that's kind of where we got thrown into that caregiver mode. Totally different world, totally different situation we were used to, didn't know anything about it, but we're here and we're good. So we've experienced a lot of different situations too. So.
Sure. What resources did you seek out?
We didn't know what we were doing at first, obviously. It was so new to us. We didn't really know where to go. You just kind of rely on, when you're in the hospital, you know, you always have your people there who are trying to help you, trying to give you advice and things like that. You still don't really know what to do, because they don't always know what to tell you to do. Sure. They don't know how you're going to be when you leave there. We went from one place to a different place and then on to somewhere else, and you just learn as you go. I actually had a friend of mine who has a son who is in the same situation. She made me a book, and it listed things that we needed to do to kind of help take care of him. So that was a very, very great thing. So if you're in that situation and you can help someone else that way, it helped us a lot. Absolutely.
Pass it on.
That's right.
Pass
That's
it
right.
on. It does. It takes that. It takes someone to help out. It takes a village, right?
That's
Yes,
right.
it does.
That's exactly right. You just have to learn to reach out to others. I became involved with East Alabama Planning Commission years and years and years ago through my job, and there in turn is how we met Ellen, and then she introduced us to the Alabama Cares program. So that's how we got involved with that.
Yeah. Gosh, how has that benefited you?
It was great for us. It's a year program, correct?
Yes.
Make sure I don't say the wrong thing. And so, you know, they help you financially a little bit with just everyday supplies that you may need, because you never know what you're really going to need until you're in that situation. You don't understand how financially draining it can be. So that helps a lot. For me, it helped more so because you were able to use either an organization or someone maybe that you know that could come in and spend some time with your loved one kind of give you some time to yourself, or some time to work, or clean house, or things that you don't have time to do any longer.
Respite care.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. And that was such a blessing for me, trying to continue to work, take care of him, and of course all the things you have to do, in the home, and you've got more to do than you used to have because you do have somebody there, again, living with you that was not living with you,
That depends on you.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely, yes. So that helped me a lot.
And we're not there to, I'll just go ahead and tell folks out there that we're not there to, we can't be there like for you an 8-hour shift while you're at work. But it's while you are at work, we have home help agencies we have contracts with, and they can go out to the home once a week or twice a week, however you want to set it up, and they can go out there for a few hours, and then that's a few hours you don't have to worry about that they're checking on your loved one, sitting with them, watching TV, fixing them a sandwich. They clean their area. They can clean their area. They can change bed sheets. They can do that kind of thing. They can't do like deep cleaning.
Yeah.
They can't clean out your refrigerator or do windows or anything.
But you can do that maybe while
you
they're
go.
there
Exactly.
doing that.
Frees
So that
you
helps a
up to-
lot.
And remember,
Absolutely.
I told you, I said, even if it's just for you to lock the door and let
That's
take
right.
a bubble bath,
That's
let
right.
God take you away, or
That's
whatever.
right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
What are some of those common challenges that caregivers face?
I think stress is a common.
Very. Yes.
It's just so different for you. We were thrown into a situation that, number one, we knew nothing about. You don't know what obstacles you're going to face because you're, again, in a situation that you know nothing about. You're new at it. You're financially, you have issues because you've got someone there again that's hasn't been there. You're caring for them. You're taking care of their everyday needs. It's straining on your mentality too. And I think, to me, and I don't know, Ellen can add to this, I think mentally it's more of a challenge.
It is.
I think for most caregivers because you're never prepared.
No.
You may, for us it was just something that happened suddenly. For other people it may be a prolonged illness that is coming on. But I still don't think you're ever prepared for
You're
it.
never prepared for it. And then you have the caregiver guilt is what we call it. You
Yes.
know, like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I doing enough? Am I
Are you doing it correctly?
Yeah, because, when the doctor's like, I don't care if it's dementia, if that person's paralyzed, if they're got cancer, whatever it is, the issue, that reason why you're taking care of somebody, the doctor tells you their diagnosis. I mean, doctors are wonderful, don't get me wrong, but then they send you home. They don't send you to a class that you can take to become how to become a caregiver. You're just, bam, you're a caregiver. So that would be like telling someone, okay, I know your background, you were a football player, but now all of a sudden you've got to be a banker and you've got to be responsible for all these accounts, and they have no clue, or just anything that you wouldn't know, like another, or something that I wouldn't know anything about. Like, you tell me I have to go build a road or something, I'd have no clue, and it stresses you out when you don't
Absolutely.
know, when you don't know. It's the unknown. And then your time is so consumed, and then you're trying, like Sandy said, she was working, she still is, she's working, she has a husband, she has all the, she still wants to go to church and still have kind of a normal life.
Have hobbies. And
Yes,
things
and
that
hobbies and that
fulfill
kind of
you.
thing. And so the stress on caregivers is unbelievable, and a lot of caregivers, and I had to get onto her, that they let their self go to take care of that person, because they're like, oh, well, I got to do this for them, so I'm going to put off my doctor's appointment, or I'm going to, I'm not going to buy my prescriptions this month because they're kind of expensive because he or she needs this. But if you don't take care of yourself as a caregiver, you're not going to be worth anything to the person you're taking care of. So you have to take care of yourself. And that's one of the things that we preach to our caregivers all the time. Please take care of yourself. This is why we're here. Even though the program's helping her son, it's our client is her. Our whole goal is to make that caregiver to take some of the stress off of them, and give them the tools and enable them, even though that's only a year program, we're not there forever, but to kind of give them a relief and kind of let them see, hey, it's okay for me to actually have a life. It's okay for me to actually sit back a little bit, or actually it's okay for me to say, when a church member says, I'll help you if you want me to, it's okay to say yes.
And that's hard to do when you're not used to that. You're not used to saying, accepting help. You know, I mean, I've probably turned down a lot, and that's okay. But you know, if you really need the help, ask for the help.
And if somebody offers,
accept the help.
accept it.
That's right. That's right.
And like I said, the program was only an hour. I mean, an hour long. Today's an hour long. The program's only a year long, but like I said, we try, our whole team in the CARES program, we try to let them know, you know, hey, it's okay, you know, so that once the program's over, they realize, well, you know what, I had that help, and I think I need to ask for help. I mean, if it's just one time a week or whatever, you know, it's okay for me to step back a little bit. And it doesn't mean you love that person any less, or it means you actually love them more because you got to take care of you.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
So you offer care to the caregivers.
Yes. And by the time, and I don't know, Sandy can kind of back me up on this, but many times we see caregivers that should have came to us 2-3 years ago because they were so stressed. By the time they get to us, they're so stressed. They're like, oh my gosh, I need help like now, like ASAP, you know? But then everybody says we're the best kept secret too. Because
That's right. That's right. And I didn't know anything about it.
Wow.
So it was just, as luck would have it, Ella and I worked together, and we were at, you know, she was able to offer it to me. So I hope maybe with some of the things that we're doing here, that more people will know about it, because we don't.
And we're out in the communities. We're out in the, you know, we do health fairs, we do festivals. We, you know, we're on radio, we're here on TV, but not everybody can be at a health fair. Not everybody listens to the radio. So we hope that all of you out there will actually share this.
Yeah, so if you're watching us on Facebook right now, go ahead and share this post, because there is someone out there that is seeking out resources and doesn't know where to start, or maybe not seeking it out because they're not sure that there are resources available. So we're going to go to a quick break, but while we do that, we encourage you all to share this. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, or even if you're watching on cable, run to the Facebook page and share this, because you could make a difference in someone's life. Somebody could be going through a challenge right now, and there are resources that can help. So on that, we're going to give you some moments to share this, and let's get some viewers engaged. And while we do that, we're going to check in with your local area weather with Lacey Klontz, and we will be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Good morning, everyone. Today we can expect mostly cloudy skies with a high of 78 and a 30% chance of showers. Now, your weekend is looking beautiful. Friday and Saturday, the high will be 81 and the low will be 62 for both days. Also, we will not see any chance of rain at all. It is going to be beautiful. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 weather.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
I'm Alan Parnell, the Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News update. A diesel fuel leak occurred at Regional Medical Center. According to RMC officials, the sensors on their fuel tanks alerted them that the diesel fuel levels had dropped. They noticed some fuel was lost and immediately contacted a contractor. Fuel was removed from the tanks under the hospital and checked for leaks to determine how the fuel got out. Neighboring Highland Health Systems noticed a strong smell and realized some of the fuel had mixed with water in their basement. RMC officials say they're working closely with ADEM and the Anniston Fire Marshal to keep everyone safe. They also said with the strong smell of diesel fuel around the hospital campus, their quick response prevented the situation from becoming worse. Trip Johnson, vice president of RMC, stated, "The PPM, the company we're using for mediation, has been boring around the tanks and the property. Through that process, it did not identify any diesel fuel in the soil or in the adjacent areas. There's been no issue with drinking water, and the company, PPM, will remain on campus for another 4 weeks to monitor the underwater drains and surrounding soil." The city of Oxford is hosting the first ever kids fishing rodeo Saturday, June 22nd at Choccolocco Park starting at 9 a.m. This is a free community event for all kids. The lake will be stocked with 2,000 pounds of farm-raised catfish. There will also be an area for special needs fishing under a covered pavilion. Please bring a cooler, lawn chairs, and fishing supplies. Fishing supplies will be provided for those who need them while supplies last. In addition to fishing, there will also be a bouncy house and lots of delicious food. If you're interested in corporate or individual sponsorship opportunities, please contact organizer Thomas Shelton at 256-591-7905. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Rise and shine, everyone. It is Friday, April the 26th. It is 7:47 on your morning, and we are visiting with Alabama Cares. So we have Ellen Hurst with us, as we get to have every Friday, which is so wonderful. So make sure that you are following along with us. Again, we want to encourage you to share this, especially if you know someone who is a caregiver, even new to caregiving or has been a caregiver. We want to let them know that there are resources that can help with Alabama Cares. And it's very important. As we've been speaking with Miss Sandy Gifford is also with us this morning, and she is a caregiver. And so we're asking some questions because that's what it takes. It takes talking about these things, because there are many people out there that are a caregiver, whether it's to anyone who is receiving care. And so some of the things that I want to ask you, Miss Sandy, is can you offer some advice to someone who might be new to caregiving?
One thing we learned with our doctor, Weston was having some agitation issues.
Okay.
And our doctor told us that it could be something as, we asked what was wrong, what was causing it. And he didn't know, he just had to do a few things to see. And he said it could be anything as small as a ingrown toenail that could be causing problems. So I asked, how do we know what's wrong? And he said, you'll learn. I'm like, really?
Learning curve.
I don't have a medical background at all. So for me, that was just like, not even speaking English to me. I'm like, okay, so how do we learn that? And he says, you figure it out as you go. So I guess one advice is never stop learning. You will figure it out. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it stress you out too much. That's easier said than done.
Sure.
When you're in that situation. So, but just continue to learn and continue to try things, and don't give up.
Yeah, and that is the thing. Don't give up.
That's right.
And reach out to others. And we were talking a little bit on the break about the importance of talking with other people who are going through this, because you may, learn. You definitely will learn something from each other, or their support groups, or their networks of people that you can connect with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the things Sandy and I are working on something, but before we talk about that, I want to let everyone know that we actually, at work, we have a program called True Alta, and if you call our office and ask to speak to Candace, she will help you set up a portal for that, and it's a support group / education online. We assign you a portal to your email address, and then you can go in, and it teaches you things about such like personal care, how to bathe someone that's bedbound, how to shave them, how to do fall prevention, how to deal with someone with dementia and Alzheimer's behaviors, and then you get certificates when and it's on your own pace, because we understand that caregivers, sometimes the only time you have is at midnight when you're sitting there finally drinking a cup of coffee at midnight when they're asleep, and all you have is your computer and your coffee. So it's on your own pace, but it's also, they have support groups on there as well, so which is kind of neat, because you're there virtually, and you're there with people from all over the United States, so that's a good resource too. But then Sandy and I are kind of about to be working on a project, and I'll let you tell them about it.
Well, we talked. I went, I think in November, December, to a support group that Ellen has here in the county, and we have so many in our county who are caregivers, whether it's their elderly parents, whether it's their children, whether it's their spouse, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of people there, and I think we need something there in our county too. So I'm hoping with Ellen's help,
I'll help you
and support a lot of it,
yes,
that we can start a support group in our county to be able to help those people. So
and
keep
you're
up
in
with us.
County.
We're in Cherokee County. I'm sorry. So keep up with us. We're going to try to work on that a little bit, and we'll try to get those resources out there to everybody.
Yeah, and the bad thing about the C word, COVID, COVID killed a lot of our support groups, a lot, because virtual. I mean, everything went virtual, or it just stopped.
Non-existent.
Yeah, it was just non-existent, and we were just bombarded by phone calls. Well, what do we do? So True Alta was a big thing for us, but also just talking to them on the phone. We talked to a lot of people during COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of people one-on-one. When we were working from home ourselves, I talked to a lot of people just to kind of give them support and say, hey, it's going to be okay. And especially during COVID was a very big, that was a...
Sure, so tough.
It was rough. People didn't have a choice but to stay at home, 24/7 with their folks, and the stress level was through the roof.
That was bad enough as it was,
yes,
even if you didn't have to be a caregiver.
Yeah, that was
for some
through
people.
the roof.
Absolutely.
And so we are hoping, we cover 10 counties, and I'm just being honest, our support groups are pretty non-existent. They're very few and far between. There's a Parkinson's support group that meets in Calhoun County. There's a few other here that meet here and there, but where we used to have them, we used to have Alzheimer's support groups like in churches and stuff, and then we would have regular caregiver support groups and grandparent support groups and all these support groups, and then they just poof went away. So when Sandy approached me and said, well, I really would like to do it, and I was like, yes, let's do this, because I think, and two, I would love to, I want to do it too, so that we can set it as a model, so that I can tell folks in Calhoun County and Etowah County, all the other counties, hey, in Cherokee County we're doing this, why don't you start this? I'll help you start it like I did in Cherokee County, because I'm not going to be able to be there all the time, of course, because I can't be in 10 counties every day, but
we wish we could duplicate you, Ellen.
Well, I don't know.
As long as she
some
comes
people
and
may
helps
not
us,
think
it's fine.
Right.
Some people may not think that, but No, my husband probably wouldn't. But you know, we're wanting to make sure that, you know, once it gets off the ground and everything and get it started, we would hope that all counties would have, because I think it's very important, because, you know, if you run across something that a behavior issue or, you know, something, you know, technical that, you know, how do you do this when this happens or whatever, you know, you talking to other people that are going through the same thing you're going through is the best resource. There's no book that can tell you about that. There's there's nothing else but then another caregiver to tell you, hey, I did that.
Right.
I went through that. Let me tell you what I did that worked. You know,
And to know that you're not alone, like as humans,
not
we're
the only one in the
you're
boat.
not the only one that's doing that. There are people, and you just vent about things or laugh about things, or just know that there's someone else that is also.
And laughter's
like,
the best
understands.
medicine.
It really
I was
is.
saying, sometimes if you're just venting,
Yes.
that's enough.
That's
if
enough.
you just take an hour to do that, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't need you
Sometimes
to
you
fix
just need
anything.
it. Right. I just need you to listen to me.
Hear me out. Yes.
And we need that, because sometimes
Yes.
you just have to get it out. You just
That's
have to talk with someone, and that's a way to, because of course caregivers, like we were talking earlier, they definitely have to prioritize that self-care, because there is that level of burnout. And how do you do that? Well, how do you prioritize self-care? And to hear other people say, like, yes, we have to take care of ourselves first. Like, we have to make sure that we prioritize that. Like, that's okay to do.
Yes.
You know, when you hear that from someone else, say, hey, it's okay. I do this. This is what I do. I allot myself X amount of time to go
We've
on a
had
walk.
caregivers that actually, you know, once we've, you know, they've realized, okay, this is not a bad thing to, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I had one caregiver, I think she was in Coosa County. She made sure that every day for 30 minutes she walked. That was her time to just decompress, and she had her daughter come stay with her loved one, and she would just go walk, and she said just to get out,
Sure.
you know, and just with no TV, just disconnect, no TV, no TV, no telephone,
Nobody to talk to,
just
you know.
her and nature. She said it was. She said that she needed that time. She said because that was the time she could think in her own head without having 10 other things going on over here. She could actually think and decompress. So
And
it's
it's
very
so
important. Yes.
And it's important to hear other people say that it's important too, because sometimes we think, well, no, that's selfish of me if I don't
Right.
do that.
That's
but
right.
it's not, and it's okay to take that moment
And
to
I
be
know that
selfish.
Sandy and I talked about this too. I mean, and I was guilty of it too when I took care of my mom. You know, caregivers are always, well, no one can take care of my mom like I can take care of my mom, or no one can take care of my son like I can take care
Or
of.
they think no one else can take care of them like you can either.
right.
You know, it works the same way.
Yes, it does. And a lot of people and caregivers don't want to hear this, but once I tell them that, they're like, oh, you know, she's right. But you've got to think, somebody that's sitting at home taking care of somebody, and we can talk that about a little bit more later, they have all day to think about all their frustrations. So who are they going to take it out on?
Yeah.
You're the only one there.
That's true.
Ooh, that is true. Well, we have so many more things to talk about. We've got to go to a quick break right now. Again, if you're watching us on Facebook, make sure you share this, because this information should not be a kept secret, because there are resources out there that could help someone that is struggling. So please do us a favor and share this wherever you're watching, and we'll be right back. Again, you're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24. We'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. Today we can expect mostly cloudy skies with a high of 78 and a 30% chance of showers. Now, your weekend is looking beautiful. Friday and Saturday, the high will be 81 and the low will be 62 for both days. Also, we will not see any chance of rain at all. It is going to be beautiful. I'm Lacey Klotz with your TV 24
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
You need strength, resilience, and hope to face life's challenges. And I found all three at Gaston State Community College. I'm Jada Pickens, an Office Administration student at Gaston State's Ayers campus in Anniston. Along with attending classes, I work full-time Life is very demanding. There's a real sense of support at Gaston State. The faculty and staff care about us as individuals and want us to thrive in the classroom and in life. Thank you, Gaston State, for giving me the wings to fly to new, unexpected heights.
All right. A little more about academics. Parents, do you want to secure a bright future for your young people? We have science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Get your kids involved with Academic STEM Kits. Go to www.academics.com to order your STEM kits. It's going to be STEM-tastic.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News update. A diesel fuel leak occurred at Regional Medical Center. According to RMC officials, the sensors on their fuel tanks alerted them that the diesel fuel levels had dropped. They noticed some fuel was lost and immediately contacted a contractor. Fuel was removed from the tanks under the hospital and checked for leaks to determine how the fuel got out. Neighboring Highland Health Systems noticed a strong smell and realized some of the fuel had mixed with water in their basement. RMC officials say they're working closely with ADEM and the Anniston Fire Marshal to keep everyone safe. They also said with the strong smell of diesel fuel around the hospital campus, their quick response prevented the situation from becoming worse. Trip Johnson, Vice President of RMC, stated, "The PPM, the company we're using for mediation, has been boring around the tanks and the property. Through that process, it did not identify any diesel fuel in the soil or in the adjacent areas. There's been no issue with drinking water, and the company, PPM, will remain on campus for another 4 weeks to monitor the underwater drains and surrounding soil." The City of Oxford is hosting the first ever Kids Fishing Rodeo Saturday, June 22nd at Choccolocco Park, starting at 9 a.m. This is a free community event for all kids. The lake will be stocked with 2,000 pounds of farm-raised catfish. There will also be an area for special needs fishing under a covered pavilion. Please bring a cooler, lawn chairs, and fishing supplies. Fishing supplies will be provided for those who need them while supplies last. In addition to fishing, there will also be a bouncy house and lots of delicious food. If you're interested in corporate or individual sponsorship opportunities, please contact organizer Thomas Shelton at 256-591-7905. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Friday morning, rise and shine, everyone. It is April the 26th. 8:03 in the morning, and this morning we are talking about caregiving, and that is something that many of us experience. I would say that most everyone experiences being a caregiver or a care recipient, right, at some point in our lives. And there are resources available for you, and Ellen is going to take it there and let you know what those resources are, and also remind you of the care line phone number that you can call. So Ellen.
Right, well, you touched on a big subject there about caregiving touches everyone, and it does. Rosalind Carter always said that there are different types of caregivers in this world. Either you are a caregiver, you are going to be a caregiver, you know someone who's a caregiver, or you're going to need a caregiver. Yeah. So caregiving is it touches everybody's life. And you know, we're out there in the public all the time trying to tell people about our program, but we cover 10 counties in the state of Alabama, in northeast Alabama. 1-800-AGE-LINE. If you remember anything else, please call 1-800-AGE-LINE. Anywhere in the state that you are, it doesn't matter if you're in Birmingham, Mobile, Huntsville, you're in Walker County, you're up in Winfield, Alabama, wherever you are, you can call 1-800-AGE-LINE and it goes directly to your area agency on aging. And the Alabama Cares program is actually the National Caregivers program. Alabama just calls theirs Alabama Cares. It's just a catchy little name because CARES actually stands for something. It stands for Caregiving Assistance, Resources, Education, and Services. Okay. So we just have a catchy little name, but because government's all about those acronyms.
Oh yes.
But we have to be screened for our program. You do have to call 1-800-AGE-LINE, and they screen you for all our programs. And then once you are screened for the programs, if you're interested in the Alabama Cares program, you just tell them that you're interested, and then they will, your name will come to our what we call our queue, and we will call you from there. There's 3 different types of caregivers that we service. One is what we call the traditional caregiver. Traditional caregivers are caregivers that are taking care of someone that's over the age of 60, or they can be any age if they have dementia or Alzheimer's, any kind of dementia diagnosis. The second category is what we call other relative caregivers, and that can include, but you have to be 55 or older to be another what we call other relative caregiver. 55 or older that are taking care of either grandparents, not grandparents, either they're taking care of grandkids, or they're taking care of a child from the age of 19 to 59 that has a severe disability that they cannot live on their own, which is what Sandy fell into. That was her category that she fell into. And what can we do? Well, we can do a lot of things, but the main thing that we do is respite care. We have contracts with home health agencies that are in all 10 counties, and they can come to the home once or twice a week. They can give you a break. They can come in there and sit with a person, watch Andy Griffith with them, whatever you want to do. They can just sit there while you're there, like Sandy said, to clean, while she doesn't have to worry about going to take care of that person while she's cleaning and busy. But they can also actually clean, but like I said, they don't do deep cleaning. Just what we do every day.
Unfortunately.
They do what we do every day, and they don't clean up all areas. Like if you have other kids, they're not going to clean their rooms, but the person that you're taking care of, they'll help change the linens off the bed, they'll vacuum, they'll pick up dishes out of the wash the dishes in the sink, put them up for you. If they're there, they'll make a light lunch for them while you're gone, that kind of thing. Just we don't dispense medications or anything like that, but it's just to give you some kind of relief. If you are receiving in-home care, like Sandy said, we also have what we call supplemental services. Supplemental services, we can order supplies such as Boost, Glucerna, Ensure, bed pads, pull-ups, diapers, shower chairs, you name it, ask me and I'll try my best to order it, right? So, but there is a limit. Like she said, you can only be on the program for 1 calendar year. So if you signed up today, you would have until April 26th to use your funds, or you have a year or until your funds are depleted, whichever comes first. So you get $2,500 worth of respite care. And then you get $1,500 worth of supplemental services. Wow. So we don't give that money to the client. I tell my clients, look at me as the bank, because the companies send me the bill. So we pay for it.
What a relief is that? Because goodness, when you start caregiving, you don't realize all of the many things that you need, like those things that you just named.
Right. And a lot of people say no, and I'm wondering if a lot of people say no, I don't want that because it might affect my Social Security check or my disability check or whatever. It doesn't affect any of that. This is a government program, and it's not what we call welfare at all. This is something that everyone deserves. It's through the Older Americans Act. You've worked, you're taking care of these people. The government's recognized that more and more caregivers are out there and that they're trying to help. But also, I'm not giving you any money. So this does not affect your check, your income at all. It doesn't. You don't have to count it. none of that. So it's just something that's there to supplement, to just help you.
Just for help.
Yes.
And what did we say earlier? It's okay to ask and receive help. Ask for help, receive help. If someone is saying, hey, I'll go sit with them, or hey, how can I help you? Think of a way. And even if it's just a 30 minutes or to bring a meal that you don't have to cook, and then you have these resources like Alabama Cares that are there to provide those things for you.
And the neat thing is like I said, it's the National Family Caregivers Program, and it's nationwide. So if you have a cousin that lives in Georgia, that of course theirs is not going to be called Alabama Cares, but you can call their area agency on aging and say, do you I want to speak to someone in the caregivers program. And everywhere, we all have the same guidelines, but everywhere is just a little bit different. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, there's everybody has different amounts of money, because it goes by senior population, so you can only imagine who has all the money. Florida, Arizona. But we do what we can do with what we have, but it's nationwide. So.
And that can be reached at 1-800-AGE-LINE?
No, well, I don't know in Georgia or those, but in the state of Alabama, it's 1-800-AGE-LINE. That's just specific to Alabama. I would definitely Google, just your area agency on aging in your area. The county, like if you live in Fulton County, Georgia, I would say Google Fulton County Area Agency on Aging, and then just speak to them and let them know, I want to speak to somebody in the caregivers program.
I think sometimes resources are underutilized because people either don't know about them or have misconceptions, like you said, that maybe it will work against them in some way. But these resources are here to help and
or they'll say, what's the catch?
Them.
Because we talked about this last week, scams, fraud, and identity theft. So when I tell them, there's no cost, well, what's the catch?
Free.
Right. Am I going to get a bill 2 years later for $4,000?
Sure.
I'm like, no. I mean, it is. It's totally free, and that's the wonderful thing about it. That's why we, and not only is it the CARES program at our agency, we have so many wonderful programs that are free, that are there to help you, such as our SHIP program that's there for, Medicare. They do the Part D comparisons from October when it's open enrollment from October to December, and she does a lot of other stuff. We have the Senior RX program that helps those people that with cost of prescriptions. We have the nutrition program that's over all the senior centers in our 10-county region. We have the Ombudsman program. There's just so many programs at our agency. I can't even begin to talk about them all, but we don't have time. But it's just, I love my agency, and I think that we have wonderful people that work there. We have people that have the biggest hearts that actually really care about their. And I know you've met,
which is very important.
You've met Amanda. You've met like a bunch of my coworkers. That we love what we do because we care.
Well, and one thing too, Council on Aging, I don't feel, I didn't know that I could fit into a program there either. So sometimes it's just reaching out and finding something, or reaching out to someone there, hoping that they can send you somewhere else.
Sure.
I may call and say, Ellen, I'm having a problem with this. Where can I go? Lots of times they'll know things that you would not know.
Or you can sit
there. Well, exactly. But I can sit there and research things for hours and hours and hours and never find the solution to what I'm looking for.
And that's why we're
when
there.
I can just call and say, hey, help me, or tell me where to go, or what to do, or tell me what to research.
It's overwhelming.
It is. I've looked for disability grants, and you can look forever, because what applies to you as having an aging parent doesn't apply to me. So all of that's different.
It is, and there are so many resources. When we get back, we're going to talk some more about that. Again, I'm going to encourage you to please share this, because there could be someone that needs to watch this, and you could help them with that. So it's all about connecting the pieces and making sure everyone is aware of the resources that are available. So stay tuned. We'll be right back and talk more about Alabama Cares right here on Rise and Shine, WEAC TV 24.
Good morning, everyone. Today we can expect mostly cloudy skies with a high of 78 and a 30% chance of showers. Now, your weekend is looking beautiful. Friday and Saturday, the high will be 81 and the low will be 62 for both days. Also, we will not see any chance of rain at all. It is going to be beautiful. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 weather.
You may not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 23-24 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 2024 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox, 24 models. You got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Hey, this is Jason at Reeves Insurance. Just want to say a quick thank you to all of our customers for your support over the years. We now have offices in Anniston, Alexandria, and Oxford in order to serve you better. So stop in and see me or any of our experienced staff and let us shop for you. We'll find you the best price and the best coverage available. Thank you.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
For over 60 years, pain relief products were developed by Big Pharma and companies that could cause harmful side effects. Now there is something new in a topical pain relief product. Thousands of people who experience pain daily are now enjoying a safe pain relief product. This big discovery is Sweet Relief. Sweet Relief is a 100% all-natural OTC product that allows you to experience with no drugs, no chemicals, no alcohols, no CBDs, just fruit moisturizing with a tropical scent. Thousands have bought and used Sweet Relief with great success. Sweet Relief specializes in relieving minor arthritis, muscle and joint pain in 1 to 2 minutes. That's 1 to 2 minutes, not days or weeks. Order today. Go to www.mysweetrelief.com. That is mysweetrelief.com.
Looking for the best deals in town? Tune in to Shop 24, your ultimate destination for exclusive discounts and savings.
From local restaurants to grocery stores and everything in between, we've got unbeatable deals waiting just for you.
But remember, these deals are hot and limited, so grab your phone fast and be the first to dial in.
Don't miss out on the savings.
Tune in to Shop 24 and shop smart today. Jazz hands!
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News Update. A diesel fuel leak occurred at Regional Medical Center. According to RMC officials, the sensors on their fuel tanks alerted them that the diesel fuel levels had dropped. They noticed some fuel was lost and immediately contacted a contractor. Fuel was removed from the tanks under the hospital and checked for leaks to determine how the fuel got out. Neighboring Highland Health Systems noticed a strong smell and realized some of the fuel had mixed with water in their basement. RMC officials say they're working closely with ADEM and the Anniston Fire Marshal to keep everyone safe. They also said with the strong smell of diesel fuel around the hospital campus, their quick response prevented the situation from becoming worse. Trip Johnson, vice president of RMC, stated, "The PPM, the company we're using for mediation, has been boring around the tanks and the property. Through that process, it did not identify any diesel fuel in the soil or in the adjacent areas. There's been no issue with drinking water, and the company, PPM, will remain on campus for another 4 weeks to monitor the underwater drains and surrounding soil." The City of Oxford is hosting the first ever Kids Fishing Rodeo, Saturday, June 22nd at Choccolocco Park, starting at 9 a.m. This is a free community event for all kids. The lake will be stocked with 2,000 pounds of farm-raised catfish. There will also be an area for special needs fishing under a covered pavilion. Please bring a cooler, lawn chairs, and fishing supplies. Fishing supplies will be provided for those who need them while supplies last. In addition to fishing, there will also be a bouncy house and lots of delicious food. If you are interested in corporate or individual sponsorship opportunities, please contact organizer Thomas Shelton at 256-591-7905. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Rise and shine, everyone. It is 8:20 on your Friday. April the 26th, and we are so happy to have you joining us every morning from 7:30 to 8:30, Monday through Friday. And Fridays we get to visit with Alabama Cares, and we get to give you resources and information that could be important to you or to someone that you know, because at some point in our lives, everyone receives or gives care. And so we've talked about the challenges, we've talked about making sure that you are taking care of yourself and utilizing these resources that are available, because as Ellen said, like, these are here for you. And if you're not going to use them, then who will? So make sure that you utilize these services. We've talked about the challenges, but there's also a lot of rewarding aspects to being a caregiver. And let's talk a little bit about that in our short time that we have left. It's been so much fun. I'm glad that we get to do this every Friday. And Sandy, thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate it very
and
much.
Sharing your story, because I'm sure it resonates with someone out there, and you sharing your story can help touch the life of someone else.
And I think that's one of the benefits you said, is there is some joy out of it, and you can just even see Sandy's face light up when she talks about it. And I think it's such a wonderful thing to watch all the caregivers that we work with when they talk about it, because her being here today, sharing with others, I think that's one of the biggest joys of being a caregiver, because knowing where you came from and what you didn't know, that you can share that knowledge and pass it on, and it makes you feel good because you've helped somebody else that was in your position before, and that you know that, hey, I can tell them and maybe at least alleviate one or two questions they had. You may not have the answers to everything, but just to be there, and I was a caregiver myself, and it's just kind of strange that I do what I do, but I sympathize and have empathy, and I know I don't know like how you feel, because I've never been in the position to have to take care of a son, but I know some of the struggles that you have had being a caregiver, because all caregivers go through struggles.
And similarities.
Yes, there's similarities there, and it just is a joy to share that with other people. Hey, I did this, or hey, you need to go and talk to these people, or hey, and when we get phone calls, because we do this for a living, like you said, you called me before and said, hey, I know you don't do this, but do you know who does?
Yeah,
I mean, just to give them that one little thing and say, I had a gentleman call me a few weeks ago, hey, I know I'm not on the program anymore, but do you know where I can get some pull-ups and bed pads for a lot cheaper than I'm getting them at Walmart? Or, simple questions that you wouldn't think you need, because they don't know. I mean, you wouldn't know where to go, and some of your other places are pretty expensive. So
those materials, those supplies can definitely get because you have to use them a lot. I mean, you think about how many times
and
you have to
they're
change.
not covered
by insurance.
I assume by I knew insurance didn't, Medicare, Medicaid. I'm not sure on some of that level what's covered and what's not, but most of the time it's not.
Right, and some hospices, if somebody's receiving hospice care, some hospice care facility or agencies actually provide that, but not all of them do. And some of them are very limited, so it's a big expense for a caregiver.
It is, very much
There's
so.
a lot of expenses in general for a caregiver. I mean,
oh yes.
Well, when someone moves back in with you, all your expenses go up. You use more electricity, you need more water, everything, food, everything. And then those other things that you didn't know were going to happen, the things that you mentioned, those items, you don't think about stuff like that until you're there and it's happening to you.
Right, and then you go to Walmart and look how much a case of protein shakes cost.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they're not cheap,
And they're drinking at least a minimum one a day,
and some drink
sometimes
two or three for one at every meal. So especially those that are not, they can't really eat or get the nutrition that they need, so they supplement it with the protein shake. So it's it can get pricey.
It sure does, and you don't want to sacrifice that. You don't want to sacrifice their health because you can't afford it, and that is that happens. Sometimes you just can't afford it, and there are resources. Again, we can't talk any more about it, but we have to say that there are resources available. 1-800-AGE-LINE. You call that if you have any questions. Like Ellen said, there's no questions that you can ask.
There's no dumb questions. There's no dumb questions.
No one will judge you or think
we're
anything.
Not there to judge.
No.
And
They're
we've
there
heard
to
it
help.
all. I mean,
I'm sure.
Yes, I mean, and it's and it's we don't think anything. I mean, I've had a doctor, call me asking questions about dementia and Alzheimer's, and I was like, "You're a doctor?" And he was like, "Yeah, but I'm a heart doctor. I can tell you everything about your heart, but I have no clue about this."
Sure.
So. I mean, we don't care what your background is. We're not there to judge you. We're just there to help you.
Yeah.
To make your life a little easier, to help you with your stress, and hopefully to help you be a better caregiver and a better person to yourself.
Yes. Give care to caregivers because you deserve it.
That's right.
You do.
You do.
Well, Miss Sandy, we've got a little bit more time. Is there anything else that you would like to give to our viewers? Some tidbit of information or advice or encouragement?
The biggest thing is to reach out and learn what's out there. Learn, like I said, through the age line number, through website,
our website, or our social media.
Yes.
We post everything on there.
I think we have a QR code there for the social media page, for the Facebook page. Take out your camera right now and scan this page and give them a follow, because there's always great information out there, and there's always great forums and events that you can go to. There was one this past Tuesday.
And our next was May 23rd.
What is that topic going to be on May 23rd?
That topic is going to be strokes, blood pressure, and diabetes.
Oh, okay. Great.
And that's
Good
at
topics.
the Oxford Civic Center on May 23rd from 10 to 12. It's free.
Yeah.
We have vendors there, and our speaker will be there speaking on these subjects. And so I think we're going to actually do free. We're looking at doing free blood pressure checks and glucose checks since we're speaking about it.
Sure. Oh, that'd be good.
That would be good too. But we have it every month. It's called our Community Health series, and every month's a different subject. But this month is blood pressure, strokes, and diabetes is what we'll be talking about.
Such a great community service there.
Absolutely.
And all the things that y'all do. And we appreciate everyone who works there and works so hard to make sure that people receive the resources that are available and make the most out of those.
And there's some of the sweetest people there too.
Oh, you're too kind.
Imagine. Well, I've
They
just
are.
enjoyed so much getting to
All
visit with
staff.
them. And yes. Yeah, she's great. You definitely care about giving care to the caregivers. So that word is very important, care, because we all need it. We all need a little bit of help. We all need somebody who's, can listen to us and can be there and to say, hey, you know what, you don't have to be doing that alone, or you know what, I can help you with that, or I know someone who can help provide that assistance for you. So you don't have to be alone. You have people out there that work really hard to make sure.
And we're not miracle workers, and I don't claim that at all. But what we can do is just a drop in the bucket. But it's something, and it's better than nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any little bit counts.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
Yes, it's important.
Yes.
Well, ladies, so we've got just a few minutes. I can't believe time flies when you're having fun, and thank you again for that information. And we really do encourage you to share this with someone that you may know or love, or is going through a situation that could use a little help.
Absolutely.
So.
And I want to thank Sandy for being here today, and I want to shout out to her that you're an awesome caregiver.
Oh, thank
you. You do a good job. All you caregivers do a good job, whether you realize it or not. You do things that you don't even probably think that you do, but God bless all of you.
Absolutely. Well, on that, we're going to wish you all a wonderful rest of your day and weekend, and thank you again, ladies, so much for all that
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
you.
Great. Well, make sure you like and follow that on Facebook. 1-800-AGE-LINE. We're going to leave you there with that number to reiterate the importance of just giving it a call. And so, well, on that, have a great weekend.
You too.
And make sure you tune back in Monday morning on Rise and Shine. So we'll see you back then. Bye.
Bye.
Prosthetic and Medical Supply. We care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.